Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I'm going to give everyone a second to hop on. If you're watching the replay, hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be talking some science. We're going to be talking a fun subject. We're going to be talking about photosensitivity. So if you're hopping on live, tag your friends that are in this group that you think would be interested. If you're watching the replay, tag your people below that you feel like would really benefit from learning about this. And I think it's going to be a good little session, good little educational session. So hi everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Amber Landry. I am one of the leaders here at the Daily Essential Co. I live in Louisiana. And I'm a registered nurse, so I really love the science and, like I said in the caption, the nitty-gritty behind the chemistry of our essential oils. So I had been wanting to talk about photosensitivity for a while, and I felt like this was a really timely moment to approach the subject because our new trio, our Mother's Day trio, was released. And in that trio, we got 3 new citrus oils. And so with citrus oils and summertime, that can be a concern. Couple that with a post that was circulating the internet recently about this really nasty phototoxic reaction that you may have seen. I felt like it was really time for us to dig deep and understand what photosensitivity is and phototoxicity in and of itself. So one thing that I do want to point out is that I don't ever want any of you to be surprised about things that might arise on the internet or via social media about the potency of our essential oils. So we go around and we educate people on how amazing and how powerful these oils are and how concentrated they are. You know, one line you might use commonly in your class is 1 drop of peppermint oil is the same as 28 cups of peppermint tea. I bet a lot of you use that analogy. So we're educating people on how powerful these oils are, and then we see a post and it just really throws us off of our game and it scares us. But you know what's not powerful and what's not going to cause adverse reactions when used out of ignorance, and I say that lovingly, but ignorance is just the definition of someone not being educated enough to know what they're doing appropriately. A substance that's not going to cause reactions and that's not going to cause like a photosensitizing reaction on the skin is a snake oil. And we walk around telling people we don't sell snake oils. Like, we don't. They are super potent and they are super powerful. So let's not be surprised when we have these people who maybe in the best way possible are trying to use their essential oils and are just trying to help their neighbors and their friends understand that these oils can hurt you, but they in themselves are just being a little ignorant. So we don't ever want you to be scared in the Daily Essential Co. We don't, okay? We want you to feel the love of our community, and we want to counter that fear with education. And so I don't want any of you guys to be fresh in your essential oil game. Like 3 months in, you feel like you know what you're doing, you see a post online, somebody shares a post with you, and it makes you feel nervous because number one, you thought you were doing something that was safe and natural, and now this very well-written article tells you that you're not. But you feel like this is such an oil-loving group that you can't approach us with this information. And so we don't ever want you to be scared, ever, and feel like you can't approach us with any information. What we want to do is counter that fear with education so that you know the truth and you realize that there's a much bigger picture. The umbrella of understanding something, you know, that's just one piece of the puzzle. So this article may have been beautifully written and these pictures may have been ghastly and you can't believe an essential oil did that. But that's just a piece of the puzzle, guys. The picture is much bigger. So we just want you to understand the bigger picture. So that's what we're going to dive in today. Okay? So phototoxicity. Phototoxicity is something that naturally happens when there's a chemical constituent present in a substance. So with our essential oils, this chemical, it's called a furocoumarin, okay? It's part of the composition of essential oils that come from the peels of citrus plants. So limes, lemons, grapefruit, all of these essential oils that we have are mechanically pressed from the peeling of this fruit. Most of our essential oils are what we call steam distilled. So they'll take, say for cinnamon bark, they'll take the bark from a tree and they steam distill it. So they put it in a distiller, in a distillery under high pressure and with a lot of heated steam, and it pulls the essential oil sacs out of that cinnamon bark. Well, with our citrus, we produce it differently. We take the peeling of the lemon or the lime or the grapefruit, and it's put into a cold pressed machine. So they mechanically press it and they push it until they get those essential oil sacs to burst, and it comes out and they bottle it. So whenever essential oils are produced this way, the furocoumarins stay intact, and they're in very high concentrations in these fruits. And so when these furocoumarins are exposed to UV radiation, they're able to form a cross-link with skin DNA. So if you apply it topically to your body, it's able to bind with the DNA of your skin, and now they have this connection, this unbroken connection. And whenever it's exposed to direct, prolonged, directly from the sun, a tanning bed, any UV source for a prolonged amount of time, it's going to release a free radical, or it's going to oxidize, and what it's going to do, because they're combined and they're linked, so whatever happens here affects here. It's combined to that skin DNA. It's going to affect the skin cell, and so it's going to discolor it. Often is what happens. It will turn it a darker shade of brown, or sometimes it'll cause seeping wounds. It kind of looks like a chemical burn at times. And so this is just something that happens in the world of chemistry. I've actually taught classes to people who grew up in the islands, and they say that their mothers would warn them when they go out onto the beach to juice limes that they were going to get burned, because when they were juicing that lime, they were just naturally getting that essential oil to burst out of the rind. It would get on their hands. They'd go out and play. They would be exposed to the sun, and they'd get those phototoxic burns on their skin. So this is nothing new. This is nothing scary about essential oils. This is something that happens in chemistry. And so if you actually read the product information pages on the essential oils that we have that are phototoxic, they will tell you to avoid UV exposure for up to 12 hours. Tisserand, Robert Tisserand, who is a leading chemist of our age and in the aromatherapy world, has an amazing book called Safety in Essential Oils. And so in this book, he talks extensively about photosensitivity. And I find that it's the most thorough amount of information I've been able to find on it when it comes to aromatherapy. And what he says is that you just pretty much, in a sense, you treat them with respect. You dilute them if you're applying them to their skin. You keep them in an area where you're not going to have direct sun exposure. So say we want to apply lime or lemon for its uplifting properties. We would put that under our shirt, on our chest, somewhere where we can smell it, but it's not going to be directly exposed to the sun. If you plan on going lay in a tanning bed, don't apply the phototoxic essential oils to your body. So it's very simple to avoid phototoxicity. You just have to know. You just have to be educated. And so, like I said, that's what we're doing here. We're educating you. I just want all of you to know. This is it's a property of the oil that we can't avoid. It's a property of a pure oil. So because we're using these pure, natural, beautiful, unblemished oils, this is just a component that we have to respect, and that we have to acknowledge the fact that this happens. And we counteract that by knowing how to approach it and what to do. And so that is my explanation of photosensitization to you. I hope it makes sense. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the essential oils that can cause a phototoxic reaction if they're not respected. Another thing I wanted to point out is that if you get the essential oil safety book by Robert Tisserand, he will explain to you the concentrations, the thresholds that you need to be mindful of when it comes to these essential oils. So, highly dilute them. You can apply it to the skin highly diluted. Whisper has bergamot in it, okay? Bergamot is one of the most phototoxic oils out there, but it's diluted with other oils, and Whisper contains fractionated coconut oil. I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's fractionated coconut oil in this bottle of Whisper because it's intended to be used as a perfume, and they know that you're putting it on your skin constantly. So you apply Whisper right on your wrist, okay? You rub it in, you walk out, get in your car, go to the park with your kids, help them climb the slides, go to the grocery store. You've been in the sun, okay? You are okay. Guys, do not freak out. What I am talking about is undiluted use of these oils over an extensive part of your body and then going into UV rays for direct exposure for a prolonged amount of time. So you're gonna douse your chest and your neck with Breathe, okay? Breathe has lemon in it because you can't breathe and you need some help oxygenating. And then you go lay in a tanning bed. Don't you send me a picture. Don't send me a picture and tell me that these oils are dangerous and they hurt you because you put a phototoxic oil directly on your skin undiluted and then went and laid into direct UV rays. You get where I'm coming from when I say educate? Just educate. Even medications have these side effects. Tetracyclines. So tetracyclines, has anybody ever taken a tetracycline? You go into the sun, when you take a tetracycline, the same thing can happen to you. So it's not like this is scary essential oil thing. It's just chemical composition creates these barriers sometimes that we have to be mindful of and educated about. Okay, I'm getting off topic. So the essential oils that can cause phototoxic reactions, the highest is going to be bergamot, however you say it. So bergamot, be careful with bergamot, okay? It's very, very helpful to the emotions. Put it somewhere diluted that's covered by clothing that the sun won't get exposed to, okay? So bergamot, we want to be careful with bergamot. Lime, lemon, grapefruit, and cumin. Surprisingly, cumin comes in our summer sensational flavors, along with spearmint and dill and tangerine. And so be careful with cumin oil. You're probably going to be using it to cook anyway. You're not going to be using it whenever you're going out into the sun by putting it on your skin. So no worries there. The two new oils we got, Sunny Citrus, as well as Kumquat. So all of these single oils you need to be mindful about them when you're putting them onto your skin, that you're not going lay out at the beach for hours afterwards or going lay in a tanning bed. Other blends that you need to be mindful of, Elevation, Citrus Bliss, Slim and Sassy, Purify, Breathe. We talked about Breathe having that lemon oil. And I'm going to make a graphic and post it so that you guys know which ones you just want to make sure are diluted and not under direct sun exposure. Forgive, Motivate, Cheer, and Whisper. So, Whisper's already diluted. We talked about that with the bergamot, but just an oil that you want to be mindful about. So anybody ever asks you a question or you're ever curious, now you know every single oil that has a phototoxic essential oil inside of it. So the citruses that are not phototoxic, this is a lesser known fact. Wild orange is not considered phototoxic because our wild orange is a sweet orange. It's not a bitter orange. So bitter orange, when expressed from the peel, is considered phototoxic. Sweet orange is not. Now, some of you might be saying, well, our Petitgrain comes from the bitter orange. It does, but it's steam distilled from the leaves of the bitter orange, not mechanically pressed from the rind. So Petitgrain is perfectly fine. It's not phototoxic. Tangerine is not phototoxic. Tangerine was available to purchase or to earn through the SHARE program if you did the SHARE program, or you can get it in the Summer Sensational Kit. And in our newest series of oils, the Mother's Day Trio Red Mandarin, mandarin oils are not considered phototoxic. So I'll make a list of what is and what is not, and I'll post that on the Babes page, and you can use it for your education if you need. Now let's talk about products. You're thinking, well, oils are in some of these products, like the Virage Facial Cleanser. Yes, but it's wild orange, and wild orange is not phototoxic because it's a sweet orange. Now, products that, and Tisserand even talks about this in his book, products that you use on the skin and then wash off don't count. So these are oils that you're directly applying to the skin that you intend to not dilute or wash off, and that are going to have direct UV exposure. Oils used internally. So right now I have a stainless steel mug with water and 1 drop of red mandarin in it, and it's delicious, by the way. That red mandarin is really good. Internal usage doesn't matter. It's skin topical application, not diluted, direct and prolonged exposure to the sun. So if you're using the shampoo or any of the facial line, the toners, the pore reducers, the pore minimizers, moisturizers, things like this, if it has a citrus oil in it, they have distilled it so that it's not mechanically pressed, so it's not phototoxic, or you're going to be washing it off, so that doesn't matter anymore. Another blend that I wanted to tell you about that has bergamot in it that you might be worried about is the Hope blend. So the Hope blend was the blend that we released in partnership with Operation Underground Railroad to help with the human sex trafficking. And the Hope blend was supposed to be used as a perfume. So these people are going to be applying it. They're outside. You're thinking, like, why would they put bergamot in there? They steam distilled the bergamot to put in the Hope blend. See, they think of everything. They know what they're doing. They're keeping us safe. They're keeping us safe. And I think that was it. I wrote notes so I didn't forget to tell you anything. Okay, so one thing I did want to point out is, as we're talking about the skin changing colors, think of a fruit as it sits on the tree and ripens. As it's exposed to the sun, its skin changes colors, and it's that pherocoumarin, and it's the same. It's the same effect that we're worried about on our skin turning brown or changing colors as a phototoxic reaction. It's just a reaction to that chemical, and that's what the peel of that fruit does as it ripens. Isn't that neat? It's pretty neat. A lot of you will ask me where I get my science from. So you have to know how to do investigative research, and you have to know how to research reputable sources. So Tisserand is always a great source, and his essential oil safety book, it's a little bit of an investment. I think it's on Amazon for $60-something right now, which is great because it's normally close to $100. It's a little deep if you don't understand chemistry, but it's great. And when you have questions about stuff like this, you can turn to the page and read about it, or you can just ask us here, and we'll tell you. Hi, Claire. And so there's a lot of information, great information there. The NAHA, which is the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapists, they're pretty much the closest thing you can find to a governing body in the aromatherapy world. They reference Tisserand a lot, so they don't come up with their own stuff. They're not like a mommy blogger who's just really good with words and can sway you. The NAHA.com has a section on safety, and there you can find a chart of photosensitizing essential oils and non-phototoxic essential oils. It's a really thorough chart. They actually get it from Tisserand's book. So I get some chemistry there. And surprisingly, there's a lot of research studies that I've been able to find in the fragrance world that focus on photosensitization. And the reason being is because they use oils like bergamot, like citrus oils like that in perfumery a lot. And it might not be, you know, medical grade or therapeutic grade essential oils like we use. It's lower grade oils that they use just for the scent in perfumes, but they still have the chemical properties that can cause photosensitization. So there's actually a lot of cosmetic studies out there that they've done showing how to like avoid photosensitization and stuff like that. So you may be wearing a perfume that has an extra synthetic in it. So they add these synthetic UVA filters to perfumery to cut that phototoxic property. So more synthetics we don't even know are in these products that we're using. We don't even realize that, you know, the perfume that we're using is photosynthetic, is phototoxic. They just are adding a synthetic, another toxic synthetic to keep you from having a nasty reaction in the sun. So anyway, just fun little tidbits of information that I thought you might want to know. So if you're just hopping on, go back and watch the replay. We talk real sciencey about photosensitization and phototoxicity. But the main takeaway here is educate yourself, guys, and let us educate you, and don't be scared to just umbrella yourself with this knowledge that the puzzle is much bigger than just one piece. Don't let somebody scare you with a piece of the puzzle. Don't be scared by a piece of the puzzle and so scared that you don't want to ask us a question, because we want you to understand the entire puzzle. We're still figuring out the entire puzzle, but we can help you. We can help you get there. And so always come to us with your concerns. We'll give you the most educated response. We'll help you understand. We'll help you know. We love you. We want you in this community. We want you to feel safe. We want you to feel empowered. And we want you to help us spread the knowledge to the rest of the world that they are safe. They just need to be respected and they need to be understood. And so help us, help everyone understand and respect them. Hey, Andrea. Yes, my belly. It's getting big, guys. It's getting real big. So anyway, share this video. Make sure all your friends that need to watch it, and we love all of you. Have a great Sunday.